a lot of people know, but I have two daughters that are currently sitting behind prison walls for murder. They were involved in the Millennium Scoop. You know, they're sitting behind bars, prison walls. I haven't heard from my daughter now for 4 weeks. They won't let her call me or anything. You know, and my one daughter, she got charged. They were trying to get her on first-degree murder. They couldn't do that. They're trying to get her on second-degree murder. They couldn't do that. You know what she told me, Mom? She said, I'm just gonna settle for manslaughter because I'm First Nation. There's nothing and nobody that will help me. She was in that car when the girl got murdered. And in that car, there was a white man that was in the back seat. He got hurt in the prison because he stabbed up another Native girl before he came to Saskatchewan. But they couldn't try him. They couldn't charge him or anything because right now he's brain dead in the hospital. So they wanted to get somebody. So they were trying to get my daughter on first degree and second degree, and they couldn't do that. So she just took the manslaughter. You know, she told me, Mom, she said, I don't want to be the next David Milgaard. She said, but don't ever stop doing what you're doing for our people. She said, because the systematic failures that is handed down to us as First Nation, Métis, Indigenous, Inuit people is why we're sitting here. She said, I'm not going to make an excuse for that. She said, but I was traumatized. She said, so traumatized. She said, by you and so many other people. She said, and I can't blame you how I used to blame you. I used to hate you. She said, but now I understand because I sit behind these prison walls and I understand what intergenerational trauma is. You know, me being an Indian residential school survivor and a heroin addict in recovery, human sex trafficking survivor, day school and 60 scoop. I was a very bad person. I've hurt a lot of people, but I didn't know. I thought violence was a normality to living as a First Nation human being. That was handed down to us through colonization, through Indian residential school. You know, and it took me, I'm now 49 years old, and it took me so many years to put that hate and that rage away, to alchemize it into golden love, power, you know, and solidarity, not only for myself, but for my family, my community, and the whole human nation. And this is why Sisters in Solidarity was created, to bring that truth, to amplify for these children, my fellow warriors that have sat in those Indian residential schools that didn't make it out. For my mother who died, she's an Indian residential school survivor. For my grandmother, she's an Indian residential school survivor. For my great-grandmother, she's an Indian residential school survivor. For my brothers, my uncles, my aunties, so much of us. You know, there was Métis people and Inuit people in there. You know, we weren't allowed to be who our spirit meant for us to be. And we're still healing. Even though to date we're being genocided. Even though to date you see First Nation men, Métis men, Inuit men continuously being slaughtered on land that they were gifted to. Murdered and missing Indigenous women. We need to search those landfills. We need to respect the women of this land, the matriarchs of this land. We need to respect the true land stewards, defenders, the water protectors of this land. Oh, we're gonna be having one song from the drum group here, and we're gonna be moving on, and then we will have some Palestinian speakers, which I'm so glad, you know, that they're here, because you know what? Palestinian lives matter. Yes! They're continuously, when we talk about every child matters, every child matters. daughters, and that means Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Haiti, you know, every other place that I forgot to mention because I'm kind of ADHD and I get, you know, whatever. I'm kind of a weirdo. But here we have our drummers and